Okay, so I've been in Thailand for about maybe 11 months, almost a year. And yeah, I can say that now I can kind of give a bit of an idea about the experience here, how it's been for me, how it's been versus, how I thought it was going to go. Because those of you that know me, I planned on going to Thailand before I met my partner, and obviously I ended up going to Ecuador instead. But somehow we both found a way to come here together. So I want to talk a little bit about that. So being in Thailand has been amazing for a lot of reasons. I think the biggest reason is the comfort aspect. Why? Because Thailand has quite affordable cost of living. Food is really good. Food is really cheap to afford. My rent isn't too bad, considering where I live. It's easy to get around the country, and it's not too expensive either. I really enjoy my job, and all these things are pretty basic. But yeah, why is this important? Why is comfort important to begin with? For someone like me, comfort doesn't mean a place just relax and do nothing and just enjoy. That's not the sort of guy that I am. But comfort does enable me to push myself in other ways. So why has this been beneficial for me? Because I can have a pretty soft base where I can really focus on other things. So I started making reels for my Speak and Grow. Been doing that for a few months with a little break. That's been amazing. So I've had time to do that. I've had a bit more space to work out and go to the gym. I put on a bit more weight. Currently at about 78 kg. Was about, I don't know, maybe about 70 when I came here, maybe about 71, because I had lost quite a lot of weight for a lot of reasons before I came here. I've had time to read again. Reading a lot has been really good for me. I'll talk about that in another video as well. Being here with Eva is amazing because we can just be together and just enjoy things. We can plan dates, we can go on trips, and we're not constantly stressed about money or things going wrong because of that comfort aspect that I spoke about. Also, living in Thailand with a partner or coming with a partner, there's pros and cons to it. So let me start with the cons. I planned on going to Thailand, obviously single with my friends, a couple of years ago. But, how things would have transpired in that way, maybe I would have gone out more and seen more things and kind of had a bit more of a repeat of my time in Korea, where I was just very eager to learn the culture and learn what's around me. But being in a relationship hasn't really stopped me from doing that, but it's made my priorities change for sure. And I think that is probably the main downside about being in a new country with a partner for me, because I'm more focused on building rather than exploring, if that makes sense. But the pros of that are, I've met a lot of single guys in Thailand. I don't have many single friends in Thailand. I don't have that many friends in Thailand yet. But the ones that I have met in passing, they seem to get very lost in Thailand in the way that it's kind of, if you want it to be, it can be the city of hedonism. And if you're that sort of person, it can swallow you up and spit you back out. Luckily for me, because I am in a relationship, it has probably protected me from going down that road, or at least trying that road, and just being fatigued all the time, which I think's great. And also, I can really focus on what matters, because what matters to me at the moment, I'm 28, going into 29 in 5 months, and I want to focus more on building and constructing things for the future and building a bit more stability. But yeah, I think I'm going a little bit off course. But the Thailand experience so far has been one where I have kind of reached a point where like I need to very intentionally create difficult goals for myself, because the job that I have, obviously it has its challenges, but you know, as you do any type of job, you kind of grow to adapt to it, and you know, you do things within the job, but obviously that's in the job, right? I'm not doing stuff for my job in my free time, for example. So that's the main thing. It's very easy to slip into comfortable routines over here. I think that's possible and true of any place, but here especially. That's one thing I've learned. I have to be very intentional about setting goals and, you know, kind of be awake to that. Also, there's a strange kind of like cognitive dissonance going on. It's quite similar to the way I felt in Ecuador, where a lot of foreigners like myself can live a fairly lavish life compared to in our home countries. And I'm sure a lot of Thai people live like that too. I mean, there's a lot of Thai people that live in my building. But there's a lot of poverty just around me. It doesn't take very long just to walk down there actually and see children fishing in a really dirty lake with water monitors. They're like Komodo dragons, and just see that that's their life. You know, they should really be in school, but they're not. That's the teacher in me talking, but yeah. In terms of teaching itself, the biggest challenge was teaching as many kids as I've been teaching. 43 kids in the class, most I've ever taught. But I've actually grown to like it. Once you know all their names and you get to know them just a little bit on a personal basis, you tend to enjoy it a lot more. And that really is the highlight of teaching for me, just being with the kids, learning about them and just building some kind of relationship with them and jokes and just making the day go faster for both of us, right? Yeah. I mean, going forward, I do want to focus on difficult goals for myself. And I say difficult because if it's not difficult, it doesn't do anything for me, right? I think on the outside, you know, if I wasn't myself looking at myself, I'd say, wow, that's challenging. But for me, it isn't. And if I don't have that feeling of stretching, I don't have the feeling of satisfaction. And I've kind of slipped into that a little bit. However, on the whole, I would say I'm very happy here. And I think my partner, Eva, or fiance now actually, is very happy here too. And I'm more than blessed. Really blessed. And it's easy to forget how blessed you are when you get used to a nice lifestyle. And that's another thing. I have to kind of remind myself, you know, of the good things in my life sometimes, because becoming ungrateful is really easy if things are going well. It's just the paradox of being human. And I had the kind of opposite thing when I was in Ecuador and I was struggling a lot. I was trying to use a vision to push me forward to get here actually. And I got to apply the same thinking. You know, we're all on a learning journey, right? We're all trying to learn stuff. But yeah, that's the experience so far. I'm loving it. I'm really enjoying life here, and I'm really trying to make the most of it and trying not to be lazy, to be honest, because it's quite easy to do so. But yeah, that's it for now. Catch you later. Bye.